Point of view. You lacked a healthy identity 10 plus years ago. A healthy identity, a healthy personality, a healthy sense of self, however you want to say it. That's where you were 10 plus years ago. And now things are different. Now things are a lot different. Putting in the work to develop oneself is quite an endeavor. Putting in the work to set healthy boundaries, to individuate, to differentiate, to step into the unknown, to step outside of the comfortable and familiar walls of all of the traumatizing dynamics that repetition compulsion seemingly so desperately wants to keep you locked inside of. I'm not trying to suggest anything when I say these words. But the reason I use words like desperately, even though repetition compulsion is in and of itself without emotion, it's just simply this program that is designed to keep you safe. No, don't go there, don't do that. You need to continue to live out your survival-based childhood over and over and over and over again. No, healthy is boring. We need to stay inside of these lines of dysfunctionality. Just to make it very clear, and as I've referenced it many times, a healthy identity, a healthy sense of self, a healthy personality, however you like to put it, is boundaried, it is individuated, it is differentiated. An unhealthy identity, which is the exact opposite, is unboundaried. It is undifferentiated. It is unindividuated. What do boundaries do for a person's identity? Well, I begin and end right here in terms of my identity. I don't source self from other. People that lack healthy boundaries in regards to their identity do seek and source self from other. It's not good or bad or right or wrong, it's just not healthy. This is why you see people that have an extrinsic, externalized sense of self-worth source that self-worth from other. They seek validation and approval, acceptance, love, so on and so forth, from other people. It's not healthy. It's not good or bad or right or wrong. You can do that if you want to. It's just not healthy. It's not autonomous. So understanding the contrast between an unhealthy identity, where maybe if this applies to you, you were a decade plus ago, or however long ago, how an unhealthy identity contrasts with a healthy identity. A healthy identity is very interesting. Somebody with a healthy identity, with a boundaried identity, with an individuated and differentiated identity, operates drastically differently, or I guess I could say drastically different from a person with an unhealthy identity. And let me just make it very clear again, no judgment here at all. There's no judgment. This is a safe space. There's no shame. There's no guilt. There's no any of that stuff. I, as somebody who's very interested in psychology and human behavior, the study of human behavior, I just like to look at everything for what it is. I explore different subjects to not only help myself understand what is and to see things exactly for what they are, but also to present that material to people, YouTube, in a way that I think is insightful and beneficial and helpful in terms of personal development. Pretty much that simple. That's all there is to that. In regards to, just wanted to make that clear, get that out of the way so that there's no confusion as to where I'm coming from. I'm gentle on myself. I'm also gentle on other people. I also recognize that people are people. We all have our stuff. Cool. If you feel like you're in a place where you're not happy with the way that your life is or who you are, and you want to do the work to develop yourself, cool. A lot of content you'll find here on this channel to assist you. And that's the reality of that. So getting back to the subject matter here, it's fascinating to reflect on your life over the course of a very long duration of time. And the reason why I somewhat emphasize duration, a long period of time, I'm very well aware that a lot of people want the Band-Aid. They want the pain to go away. They want to take the thing to either put the Band-Aid here or to take the thing and to have everything be changed. All the while, I imagine being very unaware of what it took to get to the point that they're at. The unconsciousness, the subconsciousness, the program, the repetition compulsion, the marring and scathing that took place in the survival-based childhood, the deeply hardwiring of all of the circuits and all of the different thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that led to who the fuck you became after 2.5, 3 decades of conditioning that in and of itself was probably unconscious. Yeah, it takes time. It takes time to do the work. It takes time to heal. It takes time to show up on a daily fucking basis and to actually look at yourself and be like, fuck. It's so comfortable to just not do it. And then to just choose to do it. Like, you could be going through a lot of different things and be like, this is really fucking hard. Yeah, it is. It's hard work. It's hard work to do what you don't want to do in the moment because you don't fucking feel like it, but then simultaneously to get the insight of, oh, wow, later on down the line, I might actually really fucking appreciate that I took the time to do this fucking work. Yeah. And to be able to have that insight and then to actually move forward and be like, let's just fucking do it. Cool. Yeah, wonderful. That's great. So now you're looking at yourself and you're like, damn, I'm so fucking happy that I took the time to do the work on myself. Because 10 plus years ago, I was in a completely different position than I am now. 10 years ago, I lacked healthy boundaries of self. 10 years ago, 10 plus years ago, I was unindividuated. 10 plus years ago, I was undifferentiated. And I'll make it very clear if I mean, I know that in other videos that I've made, I've also talked about healthy boundaries, individuation, and differentiation, what I also like to refer to as the healthy triad of a non-survival based childhood that unfortunately a lot of people didn't get. And I'll make it very clear right now that no childhood is perfect, no parent is perfect. Every child comes out of childhood with some level of marring and scathing, some level of trauma, whether mild or severe. It's not better than or worse than. I'm not here to compare. It's just simply the matter that, oh shit, yeah, there's damage. Do you want to do something about it? If so, let's rock and roll. If not, maybe later. And that's okay. Whenever you're ready, on your own time. There's no judgment. I accept you where you are. And you can also accept yourself where you are, and that's okay. But if you so choose to wake up with the intention and action to actually do the work on yourself and better yourself, it's available for you. I said that kind of weird. The available word. It is available for you. So let's get back into it, because I'd like to talk about a few things before I end off this video. It's an absolutely wild thing to reflect on yourself and to realize that, yeah, you chose to put in the work to become healthier. You chose to put in the work to develop healthy boundaries. You chose to put in the work to individuate and differentiate. And when I say that, what I'm referring to specifically is healthy boundaries individuate, differentiate away from the system in which you came from. In a survival-based system, fight, flight, freeze, fawn, where basically you were not allowed to be your authentic self, you had to push a bunch of shit out, shadow work, and then you had to play the role of whatever it was that the system you came from demanded of you. And that is what developed you into an unhealthy identity. And so contrasting that with, oh wow, shit, I chose to do the fucking work. Yeah, there's still much work to be done. Cool, but at least I've made it this far. That's the contrast. It's like, holy shit, I lacked healthy boundaries. I lacked individuation. I lacked differentiation. Wow. Today, I look at my life, I look at myself, and I'm like, damn, this is fucking wild. And it is, too, because you did the difficult work of setting healthy boundaries, sitting in all of the tension that comes with that, the healthy tension. You did the work to individuate. That's awesome. You actually took the work, you took the time to become autonomous in thought, feeling, and behavior. Who do I want to be that is separate from the system that I was raised in? Differentiate self and other. My shit, your shit. Who I am, who you are. I no longer source self from other. Wow, that's wild. Previously, and just as an example, to make this very clear, for whatever reason it was, who knows, maybe there was, I'll just say like person A, person A, person B, person C, but just focus on person A. Wow, previously person A had self-dependency issues. They sourced self from other. You could say codependency, you could say whatever it was. They tied their self-worth to other. Oh, I'm only worthy if this other person validates and approves of me. And therefore, with that, because I crave this validation and approval so much, I'm going to do a bunch of things that I don't actually want to, and therefore further reinforce this self in me that is inauthentic and does things that he or she does not want to do. No judgment, no shame, no guilt. Let's look at it for what it is. And let's recognize the healthy contrast, which is exactly what I'm talking about in this video. The healthy contrast is the boundaried self, the individuated self, the differentiated self. That is the healthy contrast. And it is absolutely awesome to be able to reflect. Honestly, like sometimes maybe you reflect and it is so fucking foreign. Maybe it was so long ago. Maybe you've done so much work that you almost don't even remember what it was like mentally and emotionally to be that person. Oh, and also, let me make this very clear before I end off this video. Not saying that I'm going to right now, just before I end off this video. It's not about overcoming your past. You know, it's not about the whole, no, 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 no. It's about accepting your past. It's about looking at your past and being like, all right, yeah, I accept that that's the childhood that I got. I accept that that's the way that I was raised. But I choose differently now. I chose healthy boundaries. I chose individuation. I chose differentiation. I chose to step outside of the comfortable and familiar dynamic of survival. I chose to not get defensive because other clearly doesn't know self. Other has not taken the time to get to know self. So what other is saying has nothing to do with self. Oh, it's just projections. Oh, it's just displacement. Oh, this person lacks healthy boundaries, so they are actually utilizing me as a screen for their own projections because they lack healthy boundaries. They lack healthier means of dealing with their fucking pain. I don't need to get defensive, but I will also not associate with that person because they are not healthy. It doesn't make them good or bad or right or wrong. It's just that with all the work that I've done on myself and all the work that I see, or everything that I see within myself, I deserve healthy relationships. So I choose not to associate with the other that is utilizing me as a fucking screen because they lack healthy boundaries. Instead of taking their pain and their shit to a professional, they are choosing to project their shit onto me. Yeah, not my idea of a good time. I'll pass. You're no longer running away from your pain. You're no longer avoiding it. Flight. You're no longer trying to do things to get rid of it. No, you're facing it. Because that's healthy. Whenever you run away from or avoid anything in your life, it doesn't go away. It's there when you get back. And you're like, oh, fuck, you're still there. Shit, I need to do something else now. Let me go that way instead. Wherever you go, it is. It doesn't matter where. You can go to the entire other side of the world. It'll show up. It'll show up on the street corner like that seemingly badass dude with the head tilted down, hat, you know. Hey, I found you. Oh, shit. Because wherever you go, there you are. Wherever you go, everything that is you follows you. That's just the reality of it. You're no longer shutting down. Whenever somebody, by the way, I'm communicating all the different forms of survival: fight, flight, freeze, fawn. Freeze, shut down. You're no longer shutting down. Holy shit! Somebody just verbally fucked you up. Damn. The healthy thing is to get the fuck out, by the way. And I don't really vibe with the whole thing of give them another chance. No, they're fucking unhealthy. They showed you who they are. The likelihood that that's going to change is slim to motherfucking none. So, wow, you're no longer shutting down. Hey, I don't like the way you treated me. This is over. Some people will choose to do the work to become healthier. Entirely up to them. I would not wait around for it. Then fawning. Oh shit, I don't have to people please. I don't have to appease. I don't have to be somebody that is not authentic to me and do a bunch of things that I don't want to do to receive love. By the way, that's not healthy love. That's severely broken love. If you are in a relationship with anyone that requires you to do a bunch of things, I mean, nobody can force you to do anything. You have free human agency. You can do whatever the fuck you want to, or not do whatever the fuck you don't want to. That's the reality of it. But like to look at it and be like, oh wow, I'm no longer people pleasing. I'm no longer fawning. I'm no longer appeasing. I'm no longer doing things that I don't want to do. Wow, that's really fucking cool. It's not fun to be in relationships with people where you feel obligated to do things that you don't want to do. Yeah, that's survival. That's the identity that you created to survive relationships that are unhealthy. That's why it's called survival, by the way. Let me make this very clear before I end off this video. It's called survival because you created, subconsciously and unconsciously, in survival, an identity that is survival based to survive the broken, unhealthy dynamics of the fucked up origin. You couldn't be yourself. You weren't allowed to. You had to push a bunch of shit out. You had to push the authentic you out. And you had to take on this identity just to survive. But then at some point along the lines, and this is what I'll end off this video with, at some point along the lines, you were like, something just doesn't feel right. Maybe. I'm not telling you what happened in your life, but I don't know. There came a point where you were like, I don't like this. I don't like this survival-based lifestyle. I don't like feeling like I always have to defend myself because I'm in relationships with people that are unhealthy. I don't like feeling like I always have to run away from the pain because I seemingly can't deal with it. I don't like shutting down rather than either being vocal and communicating how I actually feel about the abuse or just getting the fuck out of the relationship altogether. I don't like people pleasing. I don't like doing things that I don't like doing because who the fuck does? I don't like feeling obligated to please everyone, to make everyone happy. Yeah, who the fuck would, quite honestly? In fact, what would it be like for me to choose myself and to live a life that is actually authentic to me? To do the things that I actually enjoy doing, you know? What would it be like? Let's find out. All right, time to set healthy boundaries. Oh shit, that's scary. It's okay, you can do this. Time to individuate, but who am I? It's all right, you'll discover that as you individuate. Fuck, what is this differentiation stuff? Oh, cool. I am learning to become an autonomous individual that is separate from the system in which I was raised in. Wow, that was wild. Yes, it was. And of course, there's still work to be done because this is not an overnight endeavor. There will be times where different things might, I guess, trigger you. The question is, are you going to give your power to it? Or are you going to look at the entire situation and be like, I determine myself. I choose what gets my power and what doesn't. And then you'll see over time the further continued evolution of self. And you will probably be pretty happy with how things have evolved. It's a wild experience.